the one story that's worth noting in the sense of a player is Randy Whitman. When we got here in 1973, we lived in an apartment complex called West Park Townhouses over on the west side on West 10th Street. See, we went to this church, Our Shepherd Lutheran, and we met Bob and Shirley Whitman. And they were just the nicest people, and they made us feel welcome, and they were just wonderful, wonderful folks. And they had a 10-year-old son by the name of Randy. And that's where I met Randy Whitman at the time. And next thing I know, through the years, all of a sudden he becomes a pretty sought-after high school basketball player. And he commits to Indiana, and he comes to IU. And obviously, I've always, when people ask me who my all-time favorite player is, it's Randy Whitman. Because basically, when I got here, we played softball with him and his family and stuff like that on Sundays with church picnics and all that kind of stuff. And I loved him, and I loved his family. I loved his mom and dad are just the greatest people, and still are. And so Randy's probably my all-time favorite player, and not a bad one to have since he was one of the best players I ever watched at a guard spot. In my opinion, it's the passion for it, for actually doing play-by-play, not the game itself. And I love the game too, but I like the one thing I found that I could do in this world was picture or see what's going on and put it in somebody else's mind as a picture. That's what radio is all about. And I didn't know I could do it until I started doing it. Now, after the first broadcast, I was pretty sure I couldn't do it. But I enjoyed that opportunity. And so I just became passionate about doing games. I just thought, man, I love doing this. It's so much fun. It's exhilarating to me. It's like, it's like making a 25-foot putt for birdie. It gives you that kind of high. And so I really enjoy doing play-by-play and painting that picture for people's minds. And whenever I hear that, I mean, I've had 4 or 5 people this year that are blind tell me, you painted this picture for my mind my whole life. I can tell what's going on based on what you're telling me. I was thinking, that's the ultimate compliment. So that's kind of how I got into it, or kind of, once I got into it and became confident at it, which took a little while, that I became a passionate thing for me. I just enjoyed it. And I've always loved sports and like being around it. And what better way is there to be around it than doing the play-by-play, and from my perspective.